The Oscar-nominated star who lied about her past racist tweets exposed. She made history, the first openly transgender actor nominated for a Best Actress Oscar. She stood on red carpets, graced magazine covers, and seemed to embody progress. Then, old tweets surfaced. Racist, Islamophobic, offensive remarks that didn't fit the progressive star narrative. And suddenly the world asked, did she lie about who she was? Tonight we're digging into the story of Carla Sofia Gascon, the Oscar nominee whose past social media posts threatened to bury not just her campaign, but her legacy. Chapter 1. The Rise to the Oscars. Carla Sofia Gascon had a career many would envy. A longtime actor in Spanish-language television and film, she made a breakthrough with the film Emilia Perez, a bold cross-cultural project that earned 13 Oscar nominations, making headlines globally. More than that, Gascon made history as the first openly transgender performer nominated for a major acting Oscar. It was a milestone moment for representation. In interviews, she spoke about the importance of inclusion, about speaking for marginalized communities, and about how seriously she took her platform. All of that built a narrative of redemption, empowerment, and authenticity. Chapter 2. The Social Media Storm. But the narrative unraveled quickly. In January 2025, journalist Sarah Hagi shared screenshots of old tweets from Gascon's X account, formerly Twitter, dating from 2016 to 2021. These posts included remarks targeting Muslims, Black Americans, diversity efforts at the Oscars, and comments about Asian culture. Examples. One tweet referred to George Floyd as a drug addict and a hustler, and questioned how much people actually cared about him. Another, she wrote, Islam is becoming a hotbed for infection for humanity that urgently needs to be cured. Some tweets also mocked Asian pop culture. Why do I always get 200 of the FKing Chinese BTS? Referring to the Korean band. Once shared online, the posts spread rapidly. Fans, co-stars, industry insiders. Shock, disbelief, disappointment. Chapter 3. The Claim versus the Reality. Here's where the story gets more complex. In the wake of the backlash, Gascon issued a public apology. I want to acknowledge the conversation around my past social media posts that have caused hurt. As someone in a marginalized community, I know this suffering all too well, and I am deeply sorry to those I have caused pain. She also argued that many of the posts were sarcastic, irony, and not meant to be taken literally, and that she used social media as a private diary, not a public platform. However, and this is critical, the narrative she presented did not fully align with the public record. She had often portrayed herself as a champion for inclusion and justice. She said she belonged to a marginalized group. Yet the tweets told a different story, one built on exclusion, on hurtful stereotypes, on mocking diversity. That mismatch raised a hard question. Was she misleading the public about her past? Because if someone claims to stand for one thing, while calling other groups an infection, or saying diversity celebrations look like a Black Lives Matter demonstration, the contrast is stark. Chapter 4. Industry Fallout. The impact inside Hollywood was immediate and severe. Co-star Zoe Saldana, a Best Supporting Actress nominee for the same film, publicly distanced herself. She said she does not support negative rhetoric towards any group. Streaming giant Netflix reportedly removed Gascon from the promotional campaign for Emilia Perez. They stopped including her in press materials, events, interviews. The film's awards momentum suffered. Critics speculated that the controversy would cost the movie major wins and diminish its historic 13 nomination haul. Public trust eroded. A groundbreaking nomination turned into a cautionary tale overnight. Chapter 5. The Personal Response. On a personal level, Gascon revealed the toll was heavy. In an emotional interview with CNN in Espanol, she admitted she had contemplated the unthinkable, referring to the mental and emotional impact of the backlash. She also pointed out that many of the tweets were years old, from a time before major fame, and said she had grown and changed since then. Offenses cannot be erased with more offenses. Unlike intolerance, forgiveness is a tool. Yet regardless of growth or context, for many the question remained, is growth enough when the tweets come from someone who claimed the moral high ground? Chapter 6. The larger conversation. This story isn't just about one actress and one set of tweets. It taps into bigger issues. The impact of old social media posts and whether public figures should be judged by who they were or who they are. The question of authenticity in Hollywood. If someone presents themselves as a voice for marginalized people, should their past speak louder? The role of industry vetting. Some executives criticized how the tweets slipped through before the Oscar campaign. One insider was quoted, "The fact that people found it is crazy to me. It should have been deleted before you even released the movie." The tension between second chances and accountability. If someone says, "I've changed," how do we measure it? And when do we say that's enough? Chapter 7. The verdict. Lied or evolved. So did Carla Sofia Gascon lie about her past? It depends on how you frame it. She didn't publicly claim she was perfect. What she did claim was a commitment to justice, to marginalized voices. And in that light, her past tweets contradicted the narrative she built. On one side, you have a historic nomination and public persona built on advocacy. On the other side, you have documented social media statements mocking Muslims, criticizing diversity at the Oscars, disparaging minorities. That gap is what many are calling the lie. But there's also the possibility of evolution. People change, platforms change, tone changes, context shifts. Gascon's defenders argue that the tweets were early, naive, sarcastic mistakes, not full reflections of her beliefs today. Yet for industry, audience, and peers, the question remains, is context enough? Especially when your brand is not just you, but your representation of an entire community. Chapter 8. What happens next? For Gascon, she remains nominated and plans to attend the Oscars, but her campaign is drastically altered. Her role at major events diminished. For Emilia Perez, the controversy overshadowed the film. What could have been a pure story of trans representation became mired in PR damage. For Hollywood, this incident will likely lead to deeper scrutiny of award season candidates' social media pasts. Studios may demand more thorough vetting. For audiences, it raises a question of how much we separate art from artist. Can we enjoy the film while rejecting the person? Should one negate the other? And for Gascon's community, it's a reminder that representation is fragile. Breaking barriers is vital, but those barriers also come with extra light, extra scrutiny, extra expectation. Chapter 9. Final thoughts. Here's the takeaway. When someone steps into a historic moment, a first ever transgender acting Oscar nomination, they become more than an actor. They become a symbol. Symbols are powerful. They carry values, hopes, change. If the person behind the symbol lacks alignment with those values, the backlash won't be just about one moment. It will be about what the symbol represented. In the case of Carla Sofia Gascon, the past tweets weren't just missteps. They were part of a narrative that clashed with the future she claimed to represent. Did she lie about her past? Perhaps. Did she evolve? Maybe. But the world doesn't grant a free pass just for transition or milestones. It demands authenticity. And in that demand, the stakes are higher than ever. So what do you think? Should past tweets, even years old, cancel a historic nomination? Can we separate the person from the platform? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you found this deep dive eye-opening, please like, subscribe, and click that bell for more stories of Hollywood, culture, and the untold layers behind the headlines. Because in the age of modern media, the tweet never truly dies. And the moment you step into the spotlight, your past can follow you forever.